Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you for joining me here today. If Aquarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aquarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Prince of Pentacles, the builder, the one who is focused on the present, the one who is sort of nose to the grindstone. I feel like you're a hard worker. I feel that you've been committed to something for a long time, and you've been just grinding it out. You're very focused on the here and now. You're not thinking about the past. You're not thinking about the future. This is the card of right now. Okay, this is the card of you realizing you got all this wood and screws and weird shaped plastic things all around you. Somehow you got to build this into that bookshelf or whatever, right? So you're not, there's other things going on, but you're focused on this. Okay, you're somebody who is consistent and persevering. You have endurance. You show up every day, right? And when you're here, you're here. Yeah. You're somebody who tries to be present in the moment. Okay? It's sort of, I guess, a mindfulness in a way. You know, when you're washing dishes, you're just here with the water and the dishes. You're not thinking about other things. You're not trying to do other things. You're not doing calculations in your head or anything. You're just focused on water, soap, plate, you know. And feeling that, feeling what it feels like and being immersed in those sensations, in that experience, right? And that's not easy to do. But I think it's very, I don't know, we got to see what you're doing, right? We got to see what you're involved with and what else might be going on around you that either you need to focus on or something that you might be trying to sort of ignore, right? Not be distracted by things. Let's put this card into some context, okay? This is very enduring energy. We got the Fool. We've got a Queen of Swords. We got the Seven of Wands, yeah. We got a Knight of Wands, of course we do. We got a Three of Pentacles, all right. 10 of Cups, 3 of Cups. 7 of Cups is okay. It's in the position of what we don't want. You know the difference between the good water and the bad water, right? And of course, we then have a 10 of Swords. That Fool card is really standing out to me, you know? It almost feels as if you've been focused on this work for so long, but it's kind of like Spirit saying, hey, you've already finished with it. That you've been working and working and working on something that is, it's just like, stop and look at your hands and be like, I don't know why I'm still working on this, you know? It could be a situation where maybe we're trying to fix something and we fixed it, but we keep tinkering with it. We keep taking it apart, putting it back together. We keep trying to build this bookshelf, and it's just we're consulting the instructions and we're screwing the things in, and then we end up taking it apart and sort of putting it back together again, and we're spending a lot of time on it, but it's just like, it's already done. You could have already put your plant and your book on it, you know? It's this commitment to this present, this thing that we're doing now, and I think, you know, I think a lot of the time we get stuck in that sort of mode. The Prince of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck is called the King of Pentacles. It's a fixed earth energy. And in that deck, it has a little bit of a different meaning. It means somebody who is sort of stuck in the present moment, but is unaware really of what's going on around them. It's somebody who is not moving the way they should be, and they're sitting stuck in one place. And life is sort of going on around them, but they're not involved. They're not participating, right? So I feel like your energy, your focus, you've got into this habit. It's like your body is just in this routine of putting these things together. Something needs to sort of snap you out of it. You know what I mean? And that, of course, would be the fool. The fool is kind of like, sort of just drops all the tools and gets up and just starts skipping out of the room. You know, sometimes we get locked into that zone with our physical activities, our work, our focus. You know, it depends on what you're doing. I don't know if this is a school thing, if this is literally something at work, that you're just there working, and you know, the janitors come and empty the garbages and turn out the lights, is about to lock the door and says, "Hey, are you going home?" And you just say, "Oh gosh, what time is it? I didn't even," you know, sometimes we get caught up in that. We get in that zone, you know, and I think Spirit's trying to say with the Fool card here, hey, it's time to go home. I don't care where you go. We can't stay here, you know. Get up and move around a little bit. It's kind of like it's quitting time for something, yeah. And especially with that 10 of Swords at the end there, I feel like you're sort of being released from this. You don't have to stay here and keep doing this. You can go and you can enjoy things, you know. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. It's going to go right here with our little sea turtle friend. We don't have a name for the sea turtle. If you would like to help me pick a name, leave your ideas in the comments. Keep it clean, people. And let's try to predict that card together, too. Put that down in the comments. Yeah, let's exercise our intuition, because that card's going to tie everything together at the end. It's going to give us the confirmation and the conclusion that we need. Okay? Now let's take a look around the room, because I feel like Spirit's trying to tell you it's time to conclude this work that you're involved with. Your efforts here are not making it any better. It's sort of the law of diminishing returns. You keep at it, but it's not going to get any better. The Fool is here to release you. The Fool is that sort of alter ego, the one that just wants to go and run and play and sort of frolic around. But you have this very committed energy. And it turns out that the Fool is our only major arcana that we have. So right now, the Fool is your main spiritual task, your main karmic work right now is the Fool card, the Fool energy. The Fool is free. The Fool has been released from obligation. The Fool is a big, fat, empty zero. Empty mind, empty heart, right? That could be a bad thing, right? But you think of somebody who doesn't really have any ideas of their own, doesn't have any desires of their own, or any heart, maybe is without a conscience. We'll just be pulled into one thing after another, and we'll sometimes stumble into great things, stumble into very terrible things. There's no direction here. So we don't want to be complete fools, right? But we do want to have some of that Fool energy with us. We want to feel the freedom of the wide open road now, released from this obligation. It's kind of like when you punch out at work, you know, and it's like, it's 5 o'clock, I'm free, right? All of us, I think, who have been in that situation. I worked jobs like that my entire life. Started working when I was 15 years old. I literally just quit my job a year ago to do this, YouTube, full time, okay? But I've worked, 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week for my entire life. It's been a long time. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. That feeling of being done for the day It's like you want to put the windows down, you want the breeze in your hair, and you're just like, it feels good, right? It feels good. It feels like the evening or the weekends even, right? Or it's the feeling when the bell rings at school, last day of the school year, summertime. Oh, it's freedom, baby. And it feels like this is going to be the best summer ever. I've had a lot of summers like that I end up just kind of sitting around home thinking, I don't know what to do. You know, my friends have gone on vacation. We didn't go anywhere, but it's like, I don't know what to do with my summer, you know? So we need to have a bit of a plan, I think. We need to be able to sort of see what's going to come next after this. But I feel like the main thing for you right now is to realize your freedom. Realize that you are being let go of this obligation. Whatever this work was, sort of karmic work or maybe literal work, school, a relationship, whatever it is, that you are, you're free. Okay, you can put it down. You can put the tools down. I find it interesting that our prince is right in the middle of a knight and a queen. It could be a family dynamic. Okay. It could be the realization that you're not the apprentice anymore. We have the implication here of the Hierophant because this is a Taurus energy. A fixed earth energy is a Taurus card. It's a Taurus power card. And the Hierophant is the sort of the archetype of the Taurus, you know. So we have a connection here with the Hierophant. And maybe the implication is that you're not the apprentice anymore, that you've put in your work, you've paid your dues. Now it's time to sort of reap your reward. Now it's time to celebrate. Now it's time to enjoy your accomplishment here. The continued effort that you've been putting in is not going to make it any better. Whatever is going on, it's the law of diminishing returns. You keep at it, it's gonna sort of decay and decline. That's why we've got a 7 of Cups over here. So we've got one major arcana energy, a very wise fool. We've got fire and fire. We've got water, 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 air and air, a little bit of earth. The earth in the future is interesting too because it's a 3 of Pentacles. It's sort of like we're going to eventually, I don't think right now at the moment, but in the future, you know, the course of life for you is going to be eventually you're going to get involved in something else and you're going to put in a bunch of work. Okay? It's not, you're not retiring from life. You know, maybe you're retiring from a career. Maybe you're graduating, you know, college or university or a trade school. Maybe you're done with a particular relationship or done with a particular project. Maybe you're creating something, an album, a painting. It's not the last one, so don't worry about it. You're going to get involved in something else that's going to take all of your effort, all of your intense energy, all of your genius, all of your creative will, all of your force and fire. But not yet. Okay? This is the card that's in the future. The Queen of Swords underneath everything, showing a need for you to take a more objective view of things. It's kind of like, let's look back. Like we're right here in the middle of something. We're working on it. Take a step back. Scooch back a little bit, right? Look at it from a distance to really get an idea of what it is and what you've done. So I think so you can appreciate it, right? We've got the 3 of Cups here in the position of the environment. These 2 positions in the Dove and Serpent spread, what is within you and what is around you, right? These 2 are very connected. So it's about you having this perception of what you've done so that you can celebrate it, so that you can appreciate it, so that you can say, yes, this is the optimal thing. This is as good as it will ever get. Maybe you're working on a sculpture, you know? You don't just keep trimming stuff off. Sometimes you got to take that, just slide back, you know, look at it from a distance and think, it's perfect. Look what I've done. It's beautiful. It's amazing. We keep trimming off the whatever wood or plaster. I don't know what it is. Stone, granite. You're going to ruin it, right? More effort does not always mean better results. We can overdo it, okay? So I think the Queen of Swords is getting that perspective, taking that, that step back. But I think it's also getting a bird's eye view of your life. I think it's time. I think we need to do that. We need to take a bird's eye view of life and kind of try to get an idea of where we want that fool to go. What does that fool really want? Yeah. What's going to make that fool happy, right? Reminds me of that show. I think it's on Hulu. It's called This Fool. Oh, it's so funny. Very good show. Check it out if you haven't yet. What does the fool want? What is going to be, well, what's a good way for the fool to celebrate? Okay, celebrate not necessarily that something is done, finished, completed product. Okay, here we go. I've made it, or I've graduated, or I've retired. Maybe this is celebrating just being done with something. I'm out of there. Thank the heavens. Let me enjoy that. Let me take a moment. Let's take a beat, right? And feel how it feels to be free of that obligation. Maybe you're getting away from something it was war, right? It was taxing, challenging. It was not fun. Maybe you weren't creating something, right? Maybe you were trying to just work to get away from something. Maybe it felt more like a prison sentence than a fun, creative endeavor. We've got a 7 of Wands in the background. It felt like war. It felt like that was the hill you were going to die on. And this is the card of fighting. This is the card of in a way, knowing that you're fighting a losing battle. Right? But you're there anyway. You're doing it anyway. Because it means something to you. Because I don't know what this was. Maybe it was a relationship. Maybe it was a marriage. Maybe it was a work thing. Maybe it was a contract. Maybe it's the career. I don't know. It could be all sorts of things. What's the Amy Winehouse line? Love is a losing game, right? Play it anyway. Why do we do that? I love Amy Winehouse, by the way. Rest in power, Amy. We believed in it at one time, and maybe this is. I mean, it could be about love. Could be about finding that sort of relationship and the work that it takes. And we're fighting for something, even though, it doesn't always work out. But I think these two cards really say it all. That it's okay to be this fool right now, because we know the fool's going to get right back in the game anyway. This is a Mars in Capricorn energy. Okay? This is a Mars in Leo. This is when we still believe that we could do it. This is kind of like Mars in Leo is just like, I don't care how big the enemy is. This is David and Goliath. I'm going to get that Goliath. I don't care what the odds are. This is going to work, right? And then you put in all of this effort, and whether this is working or not, I don't know. That's how you have to sort of figure this out, okay? The idea is that you're going to be right back in this Mars energy again anyway. Even if love is a losing game, it's a game that we're going to, we may have to take a break, but we're going to jump right back in and we're going to do something else. If this is your work, your creative work, if this is artistic, if this is just your sense of purpose, if this is you just having a focus in your life, maybe you're a teenager, maybe you're retired, maybe you're 120 years old, I don't care, it doesn't matter. Congratulations if you're 120. having something to do, having a purpose, having an intention, it's work. It's what you're burning calories doing every day. Okay? It's just what is the central focus of your life right now. Maybe Spirit's saying, just whatever it has been, let it go. Right? Let it go and try to be a fool for a minute or two. Have some fun, celebrate yourself, realize what you've accomplished. The thing about the Queen is that the Queens are always looking at the past. Okay? And in this sense, the Queen's looking at the past and isn't really looking at the past to be like, oh, look at everything I've done. Look how it feels, you know? No, the Queen's looking at the past and thinking, how could I have done that better? What did I need to learn in that situation that I can then take into my next plan and do it, more efficiently? What did I learn from the last iteration that I could take with me into the next one so I can have a better plan, a better course of action? See, it's a swords card. It's always trying to plot the course. It's always trying to dissect and analyze things, right? Analyzing the past, dissecting the past, so that you can formulate a better plan in the future. And yes, this is very appropriate, very good energy, but the Fool, that's what we need. And the Fool just sort of needs to jump, I think, right over here maybe to the 10 of Cups and just say, look, let's celebrate the ending of this thing. Because every ending is a beginning, right? The 10 is going to become an ace anyway. Just as the 7 is going to become a 3 again. And then up top here is that energy that's ready to rush into something else. This is a Knight of Wands. This is fire on fire. The Knights, in contrast with the Queens, who always look at the past, the Knights look at the future. So what we have in several dimensions here, I'll put our Fool right up here for a second. Where can the Fool go? Maybe right there. We've got past, present, and future. And we've got past, present, and future. Okay, so this is the card that's looking at the past and thinking, okay, well, what did I learn from this one that I can take, to formulate a better plan, a better course of action, a better strategy when I do the next one, right? And this is the card of the future, looking at the future, looking at, let's say, a 10 of Wands, right? Looking at what can I put all my effort into? What is the next thing that I can jump right into? Doesn't want to waste any time, right? The future is always the most important thing, so it's always looking ahead. The thing about the Knight of Wands is that if you're looking at the future while running as fast as you can, you might fall into a hole, right? Now, looking ahead is good. Let's say, it was a race car driver who said that you should be looking 2 or 3 miles ahead when you're driving, and I've tried to implement this. This is something I heard 20 years ago. When you're driving on the freeway or whatever, look a couple miles ahead. Don't just stare at the front of the car, right, or the car in front of you. You look ahead, so you can anticipate the dangers and the obstacles, And that, I think, is a very good thing. But if we're always thinking about the future, we're going to miss out on what's happening right now in the present. Okay, and maybe our Prince of Pentacles here in the present day, focused on the present energy, has been either focused too much on the past, thinking of the past, or too busy thinking about what's coming next, that they didn't realize that this current thing is done and they should have clocked out and gone home a long time ago. Okay, or as I said at the beginning, they're just so wrapped up in the work that they're doing right now that they don't realize that it's the end of the process for them, right? But I think that you're that type of person that wants to jump into whatever's coming next. That it's not usual for you to leave some space in between. It's kind of it's very continuous sort of energy for you. Yeah. We're always sort of thinking of what's coming next, And in this case, I think you need to enjoy the moment. you need to enjoy the moment of, let's say, celebration or of release or freedom, right? Of letting things go. It's like you focus on the present because you're doing all of this very, very important work. You're working very, very hard, but when you're not, it's like when you're not working, you're thinking about work. You know, that you clock out from work, and instead of putting all that attention into what you're doing right now, friends, family, cooking dinner, being with your pets, your plants, your people, you're kind of focused on tomorrow, or you're focused on yesterday. What did I do yesterday that I now can sort of make tomorrow a better day? So you're giving all this present, mindful attention to your work. Give the same kind of mindful, present moment attention to your play too. You see? And so that's somebody that, they're very hard worker, very focused on work. When I'm at work, I'm doing work. I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm doing my thing. Then you clock out and you go home and it's like, okay, what did I learn from work today? What can I do better tomorrow? Then suddenly we get out of that present moment. You got to bring that same sort of eternal here and now energy with you everywhere you go. Not that there's anything wrong with thinking of yesterday to make tomorrow better. Not that there's anything wrong with looking into the future to prevent any obstacles today. Okay, these are very good energies. It's just pointing out how we've been sort of utilizing them. But the Three of Pentacles is saying, don't worry, there will be a tomorrow. There will be another challenge. Right? Let's talk about the path of the serpent. Here we get all that water energy. As we talk about these cards, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free, doesn't cost anything. I also have Dove and Serpent bedtime stories if you want to go check out that channel. Okay. Thank you for supporting the channel anyway. 10 of Cups as your general energy. When we take all of this into account, it brings about this idea of fullness, this idea of sort of a satisfaction. And whether this means that, you're done with this work forever, and you have to find a different project tomorrow, or if this is saying, hey, you're just clocking out for the weekend, just enjoy your weekend, right? It's, it's kind of like, okay, well, tomorrow's Friday, so just... that after when Friday's over, just be weekend mode and be present. Don't be thinking about yesterday, or don't be thinking about Monday either. Because I think that is, you're sort of missing out on a great portion of life here. You're missing out on a deeper satisfaction, especially if you are this hard of a worker. I mean, this right here, this is somebody who I would love to have this person on my team. This person is really, very productive, very ambitious, gets stuff done, amazing work ethic, right? But I don't want you on my team unless you know how to connect with your satisfaction, connecting with yourself and having this sense of accomplishment. Now, the 10 is always sort of a completion, that something has run its course and it's time to start again. It's kind of like, did you have a satisfying week? Okay, enjoy the weekend. Tomorrow or Monday's going to be another week, right? It's kind of a card that says you've done enough. You've put in, you've already gone above and beyond for this thing. Let it go. Put it down. Either for good or just for the weekend. I don't know. It depends on your situation. Because what we're doing, I think, when we take into account our 10 of Swords, 10 of Cups, 10 of Swords, this looks like very dry bones. This is a lot of nourishment, right? So it's kind of like we've picked the bones clean of this thing. There's nothing more that you can gain from putting in all this extra work. By you spending your weekends worrying about it, or thinking about it, considering it, or planning, or whatever it is that you want to call it, you're not actually benefiting from that. There's no gain to be had from that. I could think about work, all day and all night. I very often do. It doesn't help me when I'm doing these readings and when I'm, trying to make the channels successful. Worrying about it in my off hours, not that I get very many, doesn't help me. So it's kind of like we have to know when to just turn it off and just be weekend Paul, I work 7 days a week, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day, but that's okay. We're very blessed. We're very lucky. I'm very thankful that I even get to do this, for a living. And I think that's important to focus on. Focus on being thankful. Here's that 3 of Cups. Let's be proud of ourselves. Let's celebrate our accomplishment of the week. Let's celebrate what we did this month or this week. Let's celebrate what we did today. Let's be thankful that we have the opportunity to do that. Let's be thankful that we have the opportunity to work with wonderful people, to apply ourselves to our craft. And this doesn't have to be a work thing for you. This can be family efforts. It can be relationships. It can be creative projects, spiritual work, whatever. We'll just be thankful that we've had the experiences that we have, even though some of them have been a little 7 of Cups, that we haven't always in the moment enjoyed ourselves. Maybe we don't like the people we work with. Maybe there are conflicts. Maybe there's friction. Maybe things are just not going well sometimes. We all need to have moments where we can just turn it off and just be weekend Aquarius, Things may be very stressful when you are there or when you are in that relationship, but let's let it go. It's the weekend. It's time to clock out. It's time to leave this alone for good, and then the next project will come along eventually anyway, or the next relationship, or the next focus of your life, the next purpose. Okay? And maybe this is a romantic thing. Maybe this is the idea that, we've put in all of this work and all of this effort, and something didn't work out. And that is sort of the energy that sticks with us. The thing about the 3 of Cups is that it sort of fades away really quick. It's nice, clean water. It kind of goes right through you, But the 7 of Cups is real sticky. And this, once we get it on us, it takes like that Goo Gone stuff to really get it off of you, It doesn't go away as quickly. And it sort of sucks. It's kind of like, why does it have to be that way? Why can't our joy and our appreciation and our celebration, why can't this feeling stick around? And this feeling leave quickly? I don't know. There's some evolutionary reason why that's the case. But nevertheless, it is. And so we end up focusing more on what isn't working or what didn't work or what feels negative than focusing on what feels good. At home, I should be relaxing for the weekend, but I'm busy worrying about what happened at work or what's going to happen next week, right? That's the consuming energy, not this feeling of, hey, screw work. I'm here with my family, my friends. I got my pets, my plants, and let's just eat and have a good time, So the 10 of Swords, I think, is important because the excess of attention or focus or worry or work on this issue is not leading to any further insights or any more progress. So it really is this kind of fool energy that just needs to let everything go. And again, this could be a work thing. It could be career generally. It could be relationships. It could just be at the end of the day, you clock out from your stress, clock out from your worries. There's really, there's a certain point where thinking about something, worrying about something, working on something, tinkering with something is going to cause more harm than good. And we have to be able to recognize that and realize there's no more meat on these bones. I've picked them clean. It's just time to let it go. You ever have a really good meal and it's just like you're going to just like search for every scrap on the plate. It's like a dog in the dog food bowl, or our cats even. Our cats will, when Lenore feeds them, they'll They'll eat all the food on the plate, and then they'll come back every few minutes and they'll check the plate and they'll look around, they'll lick the plate, they'll sniff it around, they'll try to flip it over and see if there's anything on the bottom. They've licked it clean. There's nothing more to do, but they come back and check every few minutes, see if there's a little scrap that they missed. I must have missed something, you know. And of course, then eventually they get fed again and they're happy and it's all good. It's okay. But in your case, I think it's really like, hey, there's nothing left there for you. Leave it there. Enjoy your life. Come back to it again tomorrow or next week, or the next project will come along, the next relationship opportunity will present itself, and then you can put your effort into that. It's really, about balance. So I think the mystery card maybe will be the Art or Temperance card. Or it will be a Two of Pentacles. It'll be some card of balance, right? It could be the Justice card. It could be the Temperance card. Maybe a Six of something. Right? That'd be fairly balanced. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Tower. The Tower is a card of abrupt change. The card of the Tower, really to me now, is saying that inside of this Prince of Pentacles, this is earth energy. This is sort of like something that is just consumed you, contained your energy. The Fool is breaking free from that. So this Tower to me kind of feels like a release. It feels like a release of tension. It feels like the factory whistle blows at the end of the day, and everybody is just able to dance and skip home. They're just so happy to be the heck out of there. Okay. Even if this was, and it's work, and maybe you love the work. Maybe this is, it's so rewarding itself. But you've got to be able to step away from it. Like when I'm down here in the studio and I'm filming, I film for 5 hours every day. And when I'm done and I take these clothes off, I can put my bathrobe back on. Oh, it's the best feeling. I love being here. And you can tell the readings are getting longer and longer. Like I can't stay away. But when it's time to go and relax and have lunch and just be with my wonderful family, like it's a wonderful feeling. It is this sort of release. Yeah. But if we deny ourselves that in any form, depends on the details and the specifics of your situation. If we deny ourselves that, then all of this sort of tension, it just accumulates under the surface, and eventually it's gonna blow. Okay. So really, by you focusing too much on something, it is that law of diminishing returns, but I think it's all gonna culminate. Those diminishing returns may not really even be aware of them until they sort of blow up in your face, And we've got to be careful of that. We've got to sort of know when it's like, okay, I'm sort of overdoing it. I need to step back a little bit. Because maybe this is also your focus so much on this thing, this work, this project, this relationship, or whatever, that you're focused too much on there that something maybe will just sort of break like that. Maybe it'll come to a sort of this climax where it's just you don't want to do it anymore. I can't take it. I'm going to just throw it all away. That could, there's a point where I think we sort of stretch things. We stretch the rubber band too far, and we got to bring it back. But if we stretch it too far and we don't know when to sort of bring it back to the center, we stretch it, it breaks, it snaps. And it's just, we've broken it. Or we've chiseled away too much from our, granite sculpture. We've chiseled away too much that there's just now it's completely ruined. You know, I can't think of an example, but there's been things where I've been working on, and I'm thinking just a little bit more, just a little bit more, just a little bit more, and then it shatters. And it's like I should have stopped 1 or 2 steps earlier, but now it's too late. It's too late. I've ruined it. There's no going back. So let's be aware of that tower sort of energy, okay? The tower also, again, I think is like the fool kind of being free. You know, the fool kind of emerging from this thing and thinking, I'm done with it. Okay? I don't know if you're done for the night, for the weekend, or for good, but this is the energy we've got. We're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Aquarius on Thursday and Sunday. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It's totally free. Also, subscribe to Dove and Serpent Bedtime Stories and my wife's channel, Ula Tea Leaf Readings. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.